Over the last few years, the email marketing scene has been absolutely flooded by inexperienced gurus with all kinds of opinions on how to build a welcome series. And the truth is, it's hard to know what to actually listen to and follow. In this video, after generating over $40 million in revenue with email across over 20 brands, I'm going to show you how to actually build out a welcome flow that converts your email list into sales. So as you're watching this, you can just copy what I do and implement this for your e-commerce brand and make the absolute most of your email list. The first thing we're going to need to do to set up our welcome flow is have a list that all of our new email subscribers are going to go into, and that list is going to be what triggers our welcome series. So what you're going to do is head over to the lists and segment tab. If you don't already have a master email list, you're going to want to create one. So if you don't, you can simply click create list, call this newsletter, click create list. And then the one important setting that we really want to make sure we have toggled on here is you're going to go over to settings. You're going to click on consent. And then by default, Klaviyo has double opt-in turned on. This is essentially going to send every new subscriber an email with a button that they have to click in order to actually subscribe and make it onto your list. The truth is, in 2025, this just really isn't necessary for deliverability purposes, and it absolutely cuts off your knees in terms of generating new revenue from subscribers, because up to 60% of people actually don't click on that button and never make it into your welcome series. So with that said, we're going to want to click a single opt-in here and save, and this is going to be the list that we're using. Now, the next thing we're going to need to do is make sure we have a sign up form in place in order to make it onto our email list and then make it into our welcome series. Over the course of this video, we're going to be looking at a long-term client that we have, which is Rooted. So in order to create your pop-up form, you can simply click create form. You can start with a template. As an example, let's take a look at Rooted's sign up form. So really important in your pop-up form, you're absolutely going to want to have a really appealing offer in order to convert your site traffic into email subscribers. So you can test the offer that you have, whether it's 10% off, whether it's $10 off. The important thing here when it comes to the structure of your form is really that you are making the offer as clear as possible. You're going to want to test the timing of your pop-up form, typically can convert best. In terms of targeting, you're just going to want to make sure that this is not showing to existing Klaviyo profiles. We only want this pop-up form being shown to anyone who is coming to the site that's not already signed up to our email list. Now, what's really important here is the button that someone is going to click in order to make it onto your list is going to have a action here and then the list to submit to. This is really important because we want to make sure that we're signing them up to the right list that we're going to be using to trigger our welcome series. So the action is going to be submit form, and then for the list to submit, you're going to put in the name of the list that we just created in the prior step, or the name of the master email list that you already have. So now that your pop-up form is set up, let's go ahead and actually create the flow. We're going to go ahead and navigate over to flows over here. Click create flow. You can click build your own, and then we can call this our welcome series. You want to go ahead and click create manually. We're going to go ahead and choose the exact same list that we used in our pop-up form on that button submission. So we can go ahead and select newsletter here. And then under profile filters, what we're going to want to do is make sure we add in a condition to say that someone has not placed an order since they started the flow. So this is really important because we want to make sure we're looking at our welcome series as really a drip of nurture emails in order to convert these new email subscribers into their first purchase from the brand. So with that said, what we're going to do is say placed order 0 times. And then over here in the timing section, we're going to say since starting this flow. We're going to click save. And now we have the base infrastructure of our welcome series set up. Once the trigger for the flow and your flow filters are set up, you're going to go ahead and add in your emails and your time delays here. When it comes to the technical structure of the flow, we want our first email to be sent right away, because if someone is signing up for that offer, they might be ready to purchase, and we don't want to delay the amount of time it takes for them to get their hands on that code that they need in order to go ahead and complete that purchase. Based off all of the data we have over the course of several years now, 1 day time delays in between each of the first 5 to 6 emails in your welcome series is what makes sense for almost every brand. A lot of brand owners are scared of annoying new subscribers. They're scared of people thinking that they're spamming them. But the truth is, when someone subscribes to your email list, they're giving you the strongest signal that you will ever have that they are interested in your products and your brand. And they're giving you that signal today. The quicker we can nurture them, the quicker we can convert them. Finally, in the email settings, we're going to want to make sure that UTM tracking is toggled on. So any third-party reporting tools that you're using, like Google Analytics, Triple Whale, anything like that, is able to capture the results coming from these emails. And then we're also going to want to make sure that skip recently emailed profiles is not toggled on. The reason for this is the content and the offers in your welcome series are going to be some of the most important that are being sent to new subscribers. Even if a campaign was being sent, sent, or they received a abandoned cart email, let's say, within 8 hours of when your next welcome series email is going to be sent to them. We just want to make sure that we are getting this content to them. So if you have skip recently emailed profiles toggled on, you're going to see a lot of your new subscribers getting skipped potentially. Now, if you're thinking of building your welcome flow out just off of this video, you might run into some challenges and you might run into a bit of trouble. And there's just a chance that I don't cover exactly what you need help with, especially on the strategy side. So if you want a crystal clear guide and a checklist for building out the perfect welcome series, you can go ahead and check the description of this video for that, because I'm going to leave the link right there. There's specific checklists and examples for each of the 8 different emails that you're going to want to have in your welcome flow. So you quite literally can't go wrong if you follow this checklist. Now let's go ahead and dive into Rooted's welcome series for our example. And we're going to look at exactly what you need to have in your welcome flow. Our goal with our first welcome email is to get these new subscribers their code as efficiently as possible and get them back to the website to shop. In the first module of our email, we want to make sure that they cannot miss the code and they cannot miss the CTA to get back to the site. So that's where we're telling them, take 10% off your first order, use code RootedWelcome10. Essentially, we're saying welcome to our plant fam. Again, we're saying take 10% off your order. You can't miss it. Use code RootedWelcome10. And then if you do have any parameters on that offer, like Rooted does, offer valid on your first order of $75 plus, that can be mentioned there. We want to have a striking visual here and then a really clear CTA to go shop. Now, if someone does want to scroll down here, it's nice to just have a really short and sweet welcome message from the brand or the founders of the brand if they are involved in the company. And what's really important here as well, this is just a standard email design note for conversion optimization. You want to make sure that you have a call to action in every one of your modules. So there's no reason someone should scroll down and not have a CTA next to each new message, because that message might be what gets them to want to go back to the site and shop. So we have our welcome message from the founders, and then we have a really quick and to the point module that is just showcasing the brand's best sellers to just point new subscribers in the right direction when they are new to the brand and may not know where to start. So if you have best-selling products or best-selling collections, this is definitely a great time to just point someone in the right direction so that you can reduce the amount of friction that is involved in them finding the right product for them. So just quick 4 bestseller hits and then shop all plants. So then we have a 1-day time delay, and then on to email number 2, which is where we're going to want to provide product highlights and brand benefits. So here's where 1 day later, it's still really early in their customer journey with your brand. We want to give them the high level bullet points essentially of why they should be shopping with your brand. What are your key unique selling points and how do we communicate them and tie them into calls to action to go shop? A major pro tip that you don't want to miss is having a reminder of your welcome code in every single email in your welcome series, because the truth is people forget about that code. And if you have a different message or a different marketing angle that's going to convert them in one of your welcome series emails, that marketing angle and message paired with that offer that they might have forgotten about can be exactly what they need to convert them. Here, essentially what we want to do is communicate your brand benefits, and the way Rooted is doing that is by letting subscribers know that their plants do it all. So this is why you need plants in your life, and then this is why you need to buy your plants from Rooted. So they're letting you know they have the largest variety online. They have a 14-day guarantee, 100% recyclable packaging, organic greenhouse practices, and you can claim your savings, which you still have access to with your offer that's valid on your first order of over $75. And then if your brand does have any other offers, such as a subscribe and save offer, which is just objectively better for your LTV and the KPIs that you want to reach as a brand, and also good for your email subscribers to know about as well, because the benefits of a subscription program, for example, might be good for them, then this is a great place to let them know about that as well. Email number 3 is our best sellers email. So this is where you're going to want to showcase your best sellers in more detail. And if you're asking the question of, well, we already talked about our best sellers in email number 1, why should we show them again? That is a valid question. And what you really need to understand about the perfect welcome series, and this is really coming from e-commerce email best practices in general, you want each email that you're sending to be essentially focused on one core message. So the core message in our first email is, here's your code, go shop. And we're showing you the best sellers to help you navigate to the best products to go use that code. But we're not going into depth about our best sellers in that first email. And the truth is, our hope is that people actually just come get their code that's in the first module. It's in our best interest that they don't even scroll down to see our best sellers. Showcasing your best sellers in detail is absolutely one of your core conversion angles that every brand is going to want to showcase. And for Rooted, we're essentially giving a look at what the best sellers are and trying to efficiently, promptly get people to the site to go shop those best sellers. And what's a really good idea here, based on all of our data, all of the A/B tests we've run, instead of just showing a Klaviyo product feed of all of your best sellers, it's ideal to just choose your real hero products, best sellers, and just provide some quick hits in terms of the benefits that these products are providing and just explaining what customers love about them and why they're best sellers. So you can see Rooted's doing this for their best-selling products right over here. And then there's another great reminder to go use your code to save 10% off with your welcome offer on these best sellers. Email number 4 is going to be where most brands are going to want to showcase their brand story and specifically how that ties in to the customers and these new subscribers' interest. And the best way to do that is usually in speaking to the problem that the founders of the brand faced and connecting that to the problems that your new subscribers have and why your founders decided to start this brand and how it has now created the solution that they were initially looking for, essentially. So you can see how Rooted has implemented this here. The other great thing about showcasing your founder story is that a lot of customers really prefer shopping from people compared to brands. So when you have some messaging tied in that is from your founders directly versus the rest of the copy that's in your welcome series that's going to be from your brand, this can be exactly what's needed to convert those subscribers that really care about this. And then this is really where you're going to generate revenue. Here we're basically showing there's two founders of the brand, Ryan and Kay, and here's where we're showing what each of their favorite products are, and you can go shop those directly right now. Email number 5 is one of the most powerful emails you can have in your welcome series, which is an us versus them email. And this is where you're going to want to just quickly address that you know that your brand is not the only brand that's accessible to your subscribers in your market. They can buy from other brands, and you want to address this head on and let your new subscribers know exactly why they should be shopping from you and not from your competitors. So you can see in this example from Rooted, they have a really clear us versus them table where they're just letting you know if you order plants from another brand, another website, you're going to get them and they're going to be damaged and there's going to be soil spills, there's non-recyclable packaging that's going to be used, and they're going to have harmful pesticides. Whereas with Rooted, you have a 14-day guarantee on the quality of your plants that you're ordering, 100% recyclable packaging, and organic greenhouse practices. Now, if you are in the market for plants and you're looking to buy plants online, why would you want to shop with competitors when Rooted is giving you the assurances that the problems that you may be worried about are not going to happen with them? Email 6 is an email that every single brand has to have, which is one email that is completely focused on your social proof. A lot of new subscribers don't buy because their main hesitation is, can I trust this brand? So it's possible they found you from an ad, it's possible they found you from organic social, but they don't have anyone in their life who has recommended your brand to them, and they haven't seen any reviews potentially that let them know that your brand is trustworthy. So your main goal with this social proof email is to get subscribers to trust you. Now, different brands have different ways of leveraging social proof. So for some brands, that might be written reviews. For other brands, they may have a lot of influencers or celebrities that use their products, so they may incorporate them into their emails. So your job is to figure out what your highest leverage social proof is that's really going to convey trust in your brand, and then get that in front of the subscribers in this email. So what Rooted does is they let subscribers know that they have over 7,000 5-star reviews, so you know that you can count on the quality. It's not like we are just rated 5 stars. We have over 7,000 5-star reviews. So that is a lot of trust. They also are featuring a hit from the New York Times. So they're featuring a really prominent logo here. So right away, as soon as someone sees that New York Times logo, their immediate reaction is going to be elevated trust because it is tied to an organization or a brand that they recognize and trust already. So if you have any press hits that you can include along with customer reviews, that's going to go a really long way. And then you can see they have the individual 5-star reviews. They are beautifully presented, if I say so myself. For Rooted, we decided to link this out to their Discord community so people can go ahead and join their Discord community. This just ties in really well with the social proof to basically say, like, we're not just a brand, we are a community. And this does two things. It elevates trust, and it also allows these subscribers to engage with your brand on a deeper level outside of just reading your emails. Now they can actually go ahead and join an active community as well. And then in email 7, we want to answer any FAQs that subscribers might have. Ultimately, the goal of our welcome series is for new subscribers to have all of the information that they could ever need in order to understand why your brand is the best brand in your market by the time they finish your welcome series. And one of the reasons why your subscribers aren't sure about your brand is because they probably have a lot of questions that might not be answered by showcasing your bestsellers and showcasing social proof. And you likely have an FAQ page set up on your website, but even if you don't, you can likely name some FAQs that your customer support gets on a regular basis. And it's going to allow your brand to overcome these objections that these subscribers otherwise probably wouldn't have reached out to you with, but you can get ahead of them knowing that your average customer has these objections. So you can see Rooted lists out these questions and the answers to them as well. So how do you ship plants safely? What if I kill my plant? Do rooted planters come with drainage? These are all really valid questions that might stop someone from buying plants online, which in itself is not typical behavior. It is a newer part of the market that people have to adapt to. And finally, the last thing we want to include in our FAQs email is just a message to let subscribers know that if they do need additional help, here's how they can reach us. So those are the 7 core emails that you absolutely want to have in your welcome series. Every brand would benefit from having these 7 emails. And here for Rooted, email number 8 is just a great example of an additional email that is just very specific to Rooted. And you can absolutely include other conversion angles that will support your brand in helping your subscribers understand why they should purchase from you or reducing friction for that first purchase. For Rooted, they do have a ton of SKUs and their customer base is fragmented based on what people are shopping for. So you could be a plant pro, or you could be completely new to plants. You could be a pet owner. You could be someone who cooks in your kitchen a lot. And basically there are different plants for different personas. There are different plants for different styles of homes that have different rooms. So here's where showcasing curated categories just didn't really fit into one of our other standard emails that we know is going to drive performance. But because we know that it could be an objection that subscribers have, and because we felt that it deserved a focused message, we want to put this in the welcome series as another standalone email, and you can absolutely do the same thing for your brand. In terms of the KPIs that you should be looking for here, this is wildly different from brand to brand, so it's extremely hard to just give you a blanket number, but definitely in terms of your open rates, you should be seeing over 60% open rates. If you're not, you may have a deliverability issue that you would want to look into. In terms of your click rates, you should absolutely be seeing above 4 to 5%. So we have some clients that are in the 15 to 20% range, but it's not necessarily a bad thing if you're at 5% in a specific niche with lower engagement. And then in terms of your conversion rate, it's the same thing. Really depends on your niche, depends on your customer demo, your AOV. There's not really a good or bad level to be at here. And then same thing for placed order rates. There's not really a good metric or a bad metric. The important thing really is that you're trying to optimize your metrics every single month through high leverage A/B tests, especially on the first few emails in your welcome series. These tests are going to be a huge difference maker in the amount of new subscribers that you're ultimately able to convert into buyers. I know that you might just be building out your welcome flow right now, and that's great, but there is so much more that goes into successfully running email marketing for your e-commerce brand. There's everything from the absolute highest earning campaigns that you need to be sending, all of the other flows that you need to set up to really generate automated revenue, the technical backend stuff like deliverability that can actually determine if you make money with email marketing or not, and everything else. So click here to check out that video because I went all out on that one to make sure that it is the best resource on the market. And in that video, I quite literally show you everything you could possibly need to know so that you can set up the single most profitable marketing channel in existence and easily add hundreds of thousands in revenue. I'll catch you in the next one.